Today I'm going to talk about probably the most interesting topic that nobody else is talking about. And it's the correlation between four things: the attachment system and attachment types, Kundalini awakening, sex, and twin flames, and how understanding these four things can help you become self-aware and have a Kundalini awakening or multiple Kundalini awakenings, and even connect you to your past lives. Hi, my name is Rita Simon, and you are watching the series Awaken, where I take mystical concepts and my mystical experiences and translate them with science. So if you have been watching my videos, you already know that I had my very first Kundalini awakening 4 years ago, and I had multiple awakenings. I'm going to leave links below that explains that. And you also know that I had 2 twin flame connections. In the very first one, I was the twin flame runner, and in the second one, I was the twin flame chaser, and I was able to connect these two, and that's how I had my very first Kundalini awakening. And now I had a huge shift again. So if you have been watching my videos, you know that in May last year, I got moved into the Kundalini line. And my experience was that I was disconnected from everyone and everything, even from my twin flame, whom I had a very deep connection with for several years. And now a few weeks ago, I actually got reconnected. But I went back to this runner part, and this actually helped me understand reality even a lot deeper, and I'm going to share this with you right now. So I always recommend everyone, if they want to understand themselves, that out of everything, check out the 4 attachment types, and they are going to explain to you actually twin flames as well. But just to recap it, the avoidant has actually 2 versions. There is a detached avoidant and there is a fearful avoidant. The fearful avoidant is going to be more heady type, and the detached avoidant will be more connected to this Kundalini line. And this is going to be your runner, twin flame runner. And on the other side, you have the anxious preoccupied, who is the most connected to the emotional part and the attachment system out of the 4 attachments. But you have to understand that a healthy attachment is going to be the combination of these 3, and that gives the 4th one, the secure attachment type, who is equally attached or relatively equally attached to the detached avoidant, the anxious occupied or preoccupied, and the fearful avoidant attachment type. And that is going to be a secure person who is very close to this balanced state, which means that that person, and this is what we are going towards to in the twin flame connections and also in the Kundalini awakening, to get this healthy person, this balanced person who has all of these parts equally. There is no blockage within, and there is going to be these 3 attachment types equally connected. So how does this look like? I have a video titled, I'm going to leave a links below, that is twin flames and sex, because this is how you will really know if your twin flame is a twin flame or not. And for runner and a chaser, the experience is going to be very different, because you are in a different part of the nervous system. So the avoidant is going to be, or the runner is going to experience it as it becomes very exciting and very, very stirred up, and the whole relationship is just wow and how, and I'm so excited. But when the person is away from the other twin flame, I'm not saying that the person won't miss the person at all, but not as much as the chaser. And the inner experience is like, I'm really crazy about that person. And it's more like a teenager kind of love. And this was the very first type of connection I had. And when things are getting too much emotions, too much problems, something is too much from the other side, this person is going to go away, or just doesn't reply to certain things, or just kind of avoids. That's the best, because avoiding can have many interpretation. The relationship or the person as well. That's why it's the runner, the person who runs away when there is just too much energy, and that energy can be anything, but it's generally too much drama. And the opposite of that, it's going to be the twin flame chaser, who is the anxious, preoccupied attachment type, who actually goes towards the things. I must be able to solve it. I'm not letting go the problem. I keep repeating and repeating and repeating until we get to a solution. So it's going to be the opposite of this person, the runner. That's why you two actually attract each other, because opposites attract. And the chaser's experience is going to be during sex and during the relationship that you calm me down. So they actually go to a separation anxiety when the other person is away, and they feel that their mind is just going crazy. They cannot focus on anything else. It becomes very, very addictive. This relationship, especially for the chaser. That's why it's so difficult for the chaser. And even when they decide not to think about the other person, because they are less connected to the head, that the avoidant is more connected to, because actually the head, the prefrontal cortex, has the impulse control. They are actually the more impulsive person who has less impulse control, but they are very connected to this inner energy. That's why their experience is, when they are with this person, is a lot deeper. So their emotions are deeper, what they feel is deeper, and even the sex is going to be a lot deeper, and it's very chemical, and it's just wow, and lots of buzz, and the energy just really goes up in the body. So it's not that excitement type, because excitement is really more, you feel it around your body, it's really within the body. They are more connected to that Kundalini line, because the head is on the top, that's the runner. Then underneath that you have the body, that's the chaser, and underneath that you have the Kundalini line. So they are more connected to their inner energies. And this is where sex is actually coming in, why sex is important, and why sex is going to be a part of it. Because anytime you have this twin flame relationship, two things are going to be repeating. I don't know everyone's experience, but I had two twin flame connections. There were lots of very like differences in the two, but these two were the same. And now that I got reconnected to the avoidant part or the runner part, I can say it with 100% certainty. This is the key to it. That first you feel an energetic pull with the other person, and that means that that person represents your real twin flame is actually within you. It's actually the repressed part that couldn't come up as a child. So it's within you, but it's underdeveloped. And your twin flame is going to represent that. And the real purpose, I don't really like using this word, but the real purpose of your twin flame is to help you grow this version that is underdeveloped. So when it grows up, it becomes healthy. And that's why you attract each other, because you two create this balance, but it's in two different bodies. But in reality, whatever is within you is going to be underdeveloped in your twin flame, and whatever is in your twin flame is going to be underdeveloped within you. And your goal again to bring that underdeveloped part up. So the original whoever you are in an adult self, this goes down a little bit, so it becomes less dominant, and this childish or underdeveloped version comes up a little bit, and that's how you create wholeness within you. And that's the true meaning of twin flames. But it's again within you, meaning your twin flame can leave you and another twin flame is going to come over who is going to match whatever is within you, because this within part can change. You maybe change 20%, then your frequency is going to change and it's going to be able to match another person. So you don't have to be stuck in an abusive relationship, because that is not going to be helpful. Because if your twin flame partner is unaware, it's not about putting up with abuse, it's about healing. And you can only heal if you relive your own trauma. There is a good book about it, The Body Keeps the Score, which explains that the trauma must be relived in order for you to overcome, because the trauma is stored in the body, it's not stored in the head. And it's actually the body-mind connection, but it connects in two ways that nobody talks about. The twin flame chaser, so the anxious preoccupied, is the child self trying to connect to the parent, trying to connect to the adult version. It's the body to mind connection. And the other one that's on the front, so there are two nerves, big nerves within you, that's in the polyvagal therapy or theory, that comes from mind to body. So this is mind to body connection, and this is the parent or adult self connection to the child or the child self. And that is going to be your twin flame runner or your avoidant attachment type. And your goal is to connect all of these different parts of the nervous system and all of these different parts of your brain. So you have to unblock these inner blocks and the energy flows. And in the very middle where you have your Kundalini energy, and that's actually your unconscious, these energies try to come up, and that's why you feel so different when you are with your twin flame connection. It's very energetic, it's very electric. And actually when you are the chaser, during sex you can even feel that the energy connects and it just goes up and up and up and up and up and up. And when you have a Kundalini awakening, it's actually very similar. You feel that your energy just increases really, really suddenly, and you feel like you could go through walls and nothing could destroy you. And you also have visions that all of these other experiences, I'm not going to go into it, but they have some similarities, because the twin flame really triggers these underdeveloped parts, these energies that are not connected in you. So these underdeveloped parts mean that there is a block, and they really trigger that, and it changes your energy and actually opens up many of these blocks, many of these wounds. So that's why you start to relive your own childhood abuse, your own pain. So the wounds are coming up, and if you react exactly the same way, what you have created as a child, this is what you made as a child. It's not bad, it's just this is what you made that this is how you react with your head. This is the reaction you are going to make. This is the interpretation you are going to make. It means that you are going to remain exactly the same who you are. And now that it's re-triggered, if you use psychology, and I'm going to say it again, the 4 attachment types, look into also the 4 parenting types, and even into the 5 core childhood wounds, that can help you understand yourself, understand others as well, and you are going to create for the same wound, same abuse, same trauma, a different body-mind connection, a different interpretation. And that's how you are going to become wholer. That's how you can have a Kundalini awakening, because you are integrating yourself. You are growing within. You are changing. You are becoming a much bigger, more understanding, a lot wholer version of yourself. So a twin flame connection is the most transformational connection you can ever have, but they can also be the most dangerous. If you don't understand what is happening, they are going to be abusive, and actually that relationship can kill you as well, because they can make you extremely suicidal, because your suffering is going to be so deep. It's like burning in hell. It's awful. But as soon as you know how to look, where to look, what to look for, how to get out of that pain, and it's not about changing the partner, that, oh, if the partner would be different, it's changing you. It's a transformation for you. And sometimes the transformation is that you are able to tell the partner to go and fuck himself or herself and leave you alone, because you never know what the life lesson is for you. Sometimes your life lesson is that you stay together with the person, but sometimes the life lesson is that you are able to leave the other person. So not always it's a happy ending as a couple, but it's a happy ending for you, because you can be connected to your true self and have multiple awakenings. So 4 years ago, I had a Kundalini awakening, and that was the integration of my runner and chaser self. This is what I believed, and I was so wrong, because I actually went into a secure attachment type, and I have been that for 4 years. And about 2 months ago, so I was stuck from May in this very middle line, as I explained, and I had no feelings towards anyone. Like, I had feelings, really deep pain, but towards past lives. So I got really connected to my past lives and the people from my past lives, and the pain was so much worse than anything you can imagine in this reality. So these are actually, the deeper you go, the deeper brain waves you go, and everything feels deeper. That's why a heady person doesn't feel anything as deep and as intense as someone who is closer to a childlike self, because that is going to be a lower brainwave, that is going to be more of a theta brainwave, and a very healthy person is going to be in beta. So these are the brain waves within you, and brain waves are neurocommunication. So neurons are communicating in your body and also in your brain, and you as a whole, like a whole of whatever you have, is an organism that tries to make sense out of these lots of neurocommunication within you. And this is actually within you. So in the Kundalini line, you have this, that they actually go against each other, like you can feel the energy within, and because they cannot be solved on that level, that's why they go one level above, it gets in the body, you have the same disconnection. That's again like the attachment, the runner and the chaser, and also on the head level, you have, should I follow society or should I follow the individual? Should I follow myself? And from May until about November, I only could feel this deep pain towards actually my past life husband. I have lived nearly 200 years or 200 lives with him, and he actually helped me to have more and more awakenings. And also my daughter, I lived around 30 lifetimes together with. And around November, I got connected to another past life that I was aware of, but I couldn't accept that person was me. And in November, I went through a lot of, so I do a lot of inner work. That's how I get any awakening. So it's not that I'm waiting for things to happen. It's really about I keep doing a lot of inner work, meaning I'm trying to understand things. I'm trying to realize things, and this is how things happen to me. So I got connected to this other past life where I was a male, and it was something that I couldn't accept that person was me, and that was a disconnection. So I pushed him outside of myself, but that was like a different version of me that I couldn't accept. So there was this inner block, and I went through a lot of inner work, and I got connected to that version. And also always when you get connected, you get emotionally connected. The energy connects and you become one with that person. So all the pain, all the questions, all of these things, that version gets connected within you. And that's when I got connected back to this outside line, because when you are a chaser, you are in the back, because in your back you have the body to mind connection that is dominant, and now I got here, and that's from the mind to the body. And the big difference is that a chaser feels that anxiety comes from below all the way up. And it's really like a whole body experience. This is with the anger as well. And as a runner, now I'm very aware, because I can compare all of these things. It's only over the heart. And I had so much anxiety for several weeks. I couldn't sleep, or I could sleep only a few hours. I've been taking sleeping pills that I never needed because I'm a very good sleeper. But this constant anxiety, that was really, really damaging me. And it actually stopped at one point after several weeks, and I got, actually, this is the interesting part. So I was already connected to my twin flame partner, and now I got reconnected to the exact same person, but as the runner. So it means that I have become secure from the anxious preoccupied, but I am not secure on the front, which means that science is incomplete, because science says that attachment is actually the attachment from the child towards the parent, the opposite sex parent, and it's completely wrong, and I'm going to tell you how. A very common thing in twin flames is that the twin flame you get connected to is going to be already in a relationship. And my understanding is that the reason for this, because the attachment is not only attachment to the opposite sex parent, but your own jealousy that you have to overcome and remember that you had to your same sex parent, because your father or your mother, depending on which gender you are, is generally in a loving relationship, and you have to relive and overcome this jealousy that you had as a child. And I have solved this, but as soon as I got moved back And again, to the runner, sex triggers it. So sex is the key here. I got connected to different, because you will feel different. It's like you feel in love again, you feel these neurotransmitters. So this is actually the lower part is trying to connect to the upper part in the nervous system, and it triggers. And for me it's weird because it's exactly the same person, and we have been on that secure phase for a very long time, and only this shift actually changed the whole experience. And these neurotransmitters and chemicals and hormones are coming up, and they reconnected me, and they created a new type of experience. So I remember how I felt when I was the runner, and it's exactly the same, that I'm going crazy about the person. It's very exciting. So actually there are two types of love. And this runner version in the attachment system actually represents the adult self or the parent self connection to the child. And that's what you have here. But even the child or the parent to the child, it's actually when you become adult, it's the adult self connecting back to the child self. Do you understand your own child self? Do you understand your own childhood wounds, or you push them down? And I haven't done this part yet because it only started a few weeks ago, but I believe this can also create another version of Kundalini awakening, and I'm so excited about it, but I have absolutely no clue yet how to integrate this part, because the way it works, things have to come up, negative feelings have to come up, and there has to be a different version of connecting that. But I haven't solved this issue yet because it's very, very, very new. So in conclusion, if you want to have a Kundalini awakening, if you want to speed up your twin flame reunion or your twin flame connection, it's going to be the same thing you must be able to do. Do your inner work. Work on yourself. Understand your insecurities. Look into psychology. Understand different types of people, different personality types. So you go for understanding and learning about others, and learning about yourself, so you can accept them and you can accept yourself. And I'm talking about insecurities you don't even see in yourself. And that's how you can go forward. It's not about obsessing with ideas and idealizations that, oh, we are so different, we are this perfect couple to save the world. This is what I hear in twin flame channels. That is absolutely bad for you. It's very negative for you, because it puts you to on a pedestal that we are these the chosen ones, and everyone else is the bad guys or the lower quality people. This is actually narcissism, by the way, just to let you know. It's not healthy. Everyone is equal. When you become more and more self-aware, this is what you are going to see, that people are equal, they are just different. And this is what you need in Kundalini awakening and in your twin flame integration. Instead of trying to see I am good and my twin flame is bad, that you try to see each other equal and understand, and that's how you can integrate. See you in my next video.